Before we look at the replays, I'm going to be showing you guys a deck profile of the updated Sky Striker Orcust, so let's get right into it. So first off, we have two Effect Failure, very useful. I'm still thinking of swapping to Imperms as it's another option. You have the one Orcust Brass Bombard, triple Max C, triple Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, triple Orcust or double Orcust Symbol Skeleton, one Armageddon Knight, one Dark Grepher. I wish we had more Grisus, but this is what we had to do for the other replacements. We have one Orcust Harp Horror, we have one Grisu the Orcust Mech Knight, triple Orcust Nightmare. You can also play two, but I prefer playing three. We have one World Legacy World Wand, one Gizmek Orochi the Serpent Sky Slasher. Very useful card for late game grinds, and if you have things like Topological, Bomber Dragon, or Zeraboros. After that, we have the Feather Duster, one Reinforcements of the Army, two Engage, one Orchestrated Return, triple Lightning Storm. I've finally invested into the third one. One Orchestrated Babble, three Twin Twister, two Call by the Grave, one Sky Striker, Mecha Hornet Drones, one Widow Anchor, one Eagle Booster, one Shark Cannon, and one Orcust Crescendo. After that, we have double Dingirsu and the one Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, one Link Kuriboh, one Kagari, a Sky Striker Ace Hayate, one Krishan Halka Fibrax, one Nightmare Phoenix, one Galatea the Orcust Automaton, one IP Masquerena, one Nightmare Unicorn, one Longrisu, one Bomber Dragon, one Zeraboros, and the one Access Code Talker. I did a few duels last night. A couple of them were terrible, and a few of them, or a couple of them, were very nice for a replay. So I have these two right here. These two don't count, I don't think, but I have dropped back down to Plat 5. I went from Plat 4 to Gold 1 to Plat 5. So I'm just jumbling around, but let's get into a replay. This first replay, I don't remember what I went against. It's probably something that's super easy. I'm trying to remember. But let's take a look and let's see what they're playing. So they get to start going first, and they are playing Invoked. So this was an interesting matchup. He normal summons his Alistair. I ended up effect failing the Alistair because I didn't want him to get Invocation and all those cards, so he can get a free negate, so he could just go off. Afterwards, he is going to set one and pass. Now, I top deck into Orchestrated Return, which is actually very useful because I used the return to send the Nightmare to draw two. I drew a Grisu, a Harp, and a Callby, which is absolutely fine. I summon a token to each side of the field. Then I am going to use the token to summon out Link Kuriboh. Then I use Brass Bombard to summon out the Harp from hand. Then I go into Galatea. After that, I use Galatea, shuffling back the Brass Bombard to set a Babble. Then I activate the Babble, and I activate Harp to summon out Skeleton. I use the 4 to make a Zeraboros. Then I wish I didn't activate the Babble from deck, so I would have had it. I should have set something. I shouldn't have set anything at all. So Zeraboros triggers, everything gets banished. I set 2, the Call by the Grave and the Shark Cannon, and pass it turn. It his standby phase, Zeraboros comes back. And this is funny, he drops the Raigeki. Normal summons out Witchcrafter Schemata, which he is playing Witchcrafter Invoked. So draw phase, I draw into a Twin Twister, which is amazing. I get a World 1 from the Armageddon Knight. I summon back the Grisu. Use the Grisu's effect to dump a Symbol Skeleton. Symbol Skeleton summons out the Galatea. Then I use Orcust Nightmare, sending a Gizmek. And one of the things that I forgot was to summon out the Gizmek during the battle phase. But the next card of the deck is actually the Harp Horror. So I'm happy I didn't do that. So I am ending on a Crescendo Galatea and the IP Masquerena. So they're going to activate their Schemata. I'm going to Crescendo it to negate it. Then after that, he is going to normal summon out inferior, so I'm going to make a Nightmare Unicorn and shuffle back that, forcing it out so I can call by the grave the card. Then after that, everything resolves, it gets banished, Nightmare Unicorn resolves without an effect. Next turn I draw Orcust Harpour, I banish the Gizmek, summon out the Gizmek for a game. And it was actually a very good back and forth game. And we could check, confirms the opponent's deck, and it is Invoked Witchcrafter. So, not a full extra deck yet, but it happens. Now, the next opponent we went up against was at Ignister. Now, this was a game that definitely deserves to go on full speed because it took quite a bit. Now, Orcust Sky Striker really doesn't have a set combo. It's more so make Galatea pass with a Babble or Crescendo. Now, if you look, my opening hand isn't that good. It's Brass Bombard, Ash Blossom, Dark Grepher, Feather Duster, and a Twin Twister, but it's perfect for this matchup. So I see him goes for the island. I'm going to Ash the Baruru so he doesn't get anything to the graveyard. But it doesn't matter, because he's just going to go into Dark Infant and use Island to specials, or Infant to search out a second island. Then he's going to use Island to special summon Picari, and Picari is going to get a search of I for you, and he's going to use Idle Reboard to summon up the Aruru. Then he's going to go all the way up into a Dark Templar, and he's going to activate I Meet You, reveal a 2300, add the Achichi, summon out the Achichi to get another search and a special summon. So he's going to add the Doyon, and Dark Templar is going to summon out the Picari and the Baruru. Then he's going to use the floor to make the rival Cybers. And that's where he ends the turn. I'm going to activate my reinforcements of the army. That's cool. Normal summon out Armageddon Knight. I should have summoned out Dark Grepher so I can get a pitch. I'm going to 1-for-1 for the island. Maxi hits when I activate Harp. It kind of hurts right here because that's the most essential piece. And I'm going to use the Nightmare to send a Symbol Skeleton just for the next turn. I summon out the Galatea and use the Galatea's ability to shuffle back the Harp. Now, I gave him a total of 3 cards off of this. So I discard the Brass and summon out the Ding. And then I set a Twin Twister and pass. He's going to attempt to activate a rival Cybers. I'm going to use Ding to protect. Island comes back, and I forgot that he had the second one in hand. So I destroy the first island. I should have waited till he activated an effect, but it still didn't matter because I had Maxi. This is the one thing I love about Maxi. Both players have to play through it or around it. So Doyon effect gets back the Picari, and then we're going to use the Hyari and the Doyon to summon themselves, normally out the Baruru, and he's going to summon out Access Code Talker. And luckily, I still have a material on the Dingrisu because I didn't have to send a card. He's going to attempt to use the Access Code. He only had 1 attribute, and he swings for 4,000. I draw, I just Lightning Storm the board because that's the best thing that you can do. He has another Maxi. Afterwards, I'm going to Shark Cannon his Access Code in Chain and activate the Hornet Drone in Chain, so he doesn't get an extra 2 draws there, which is one thing I like because he could respawn to Maxi to get a special summon. Excuse me. And then Maxi resolves and summon out the Galatea, go into Link Kribo, and the one of the funniest things ever. I'm going to shuffle back for the Babble, activate the Babble, then I go up into my own access code using his own access code. Access code triggers, I become 6300 and I'm going to destroy his monster. I'm going to attack over the rival Cybers, punch in for 17 plus 800 because the Gizmek, and I close out the game right here. Banishing the Gizmek, summoning it out, and attacking directly for game. So, overall, Sky Striker Orcust is a very, very threatening deck in the right scenarios, and I don't remember... Ah, yes. Those were before the update. So, what happened is before the update, all of these replays that there are, they don't work anymore. So those are two that I sadly have to get rid of. But Orcust Sky Striker is a deck that I've always liked, or Orcust is a deck that I've always loved, because if you guys look back through my channel, I have Orcust deck profiles, multiple of them, but overall, I do miss playing our little harp, but over the course of the 2 years, I definitely now still think it can come back to one, because things like Astrograph came back, Tiger came back, so many other cards came back, but this is still on the list and it makes me sad every single time. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy these duel replays. Hit that like button down below and if you did. But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.